The Securities and Exchange Commission has recommended broad investigations into alleged irregularities that occurred in the Colombo Stock Exchange. Tushar Jayaratne, External Relations Director at the SEC, said investigations are underway into 16 incidents. He added that certain files relating to the matter have already been referred to the Attorney General.
Speaking in Parliament recently, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said those who had committed fraud in the CSE had destroyed the nation's economy.
There are a number of allegations of violations of the Colombo Stock Exchange stock market rules and Securities and Exchange Commission regulations. There, under the last government, there were large numbers. The minor ones were compounded. 13 large cases were abandoned purportedly on the lack of evidence. They were not investigated or settled when it should have been probed further. The members of the Securities and Exchange Commission was providing a cover for these people. I have requested the Securities and Exchange Commission to go into these cases. If necessary, I will bring legislation to permit such an inquiry. I am also seeking for the appointment of a parliamentary select committee to inquire into these transactions. මම ඒ ගැන දැන් යෝජනා ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තියෙනවා. අපේ ආර්ථික මුල් නැති කරලා තියෙන ඒගොල්ලෝ පුද්ගලයෝ මේකට. Take for example Dilip Jayavira. His role in the Colombo Land and Development Company and Reef Combo have to be probed by the authorities. Another example is Scott Newman and Kosala Hingama. Their roles in the environment resource investment require very close scrutiny.
Several weeks after the Prime Minister's statement, the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division questioned businessman Dilip Jayavira, who was mentioned by the Prime Minister over a transaction at the Colombo Stock Exchange. The FCID had grilled Jayavira for about 6 hours. Today's newspapers reported on the matter. According to the Sunday Times report, the FCID had questioned Dilip Jayavira on irregularities in the sale of Lanka Hospital shares to an Indian company. The Sunday Times reports that most of the questioning was centered on how the shares of the hospital, valued at 28 rupees a share, quickly rose to 64 rupees a share. The Business Times also reported that one-time powerful stock market investor Dilip Jayavira had been questioned by the FCID. The Business Times reported that such an interrogation was inconceivable a few months ago.
This is finally, if I may say so, a step in the right direction in an attempt to get to the bottom of the billions of rupees that ordinary retail investors lost out when they attempted to invest on the Colombo Stock Exchange. Mr. Jayavira and others, including very senior officials in companies connected to him, have been at the center of allegations in the so-called pumping and dumping of shares in the Colombo Stock Exchange. Companies connected to Mr. Jayavira must be fully investigated by the FCID. It is only then that the absolute full extent of the treachery perpetrated against the public, ordinary investors, will become fully apparent. There are recorded instances, and the proof is publicly available documentation, that reveal the extent of even military figures, and in one case a paramilitary figure, involvement in their business activities. These people were used to frighten and coerce innocent members of the public into their line of thinking. In one instance, a property that had been purchased for 60 million suddenly found itself valued several times higher than that for no apparent reason other than clearly to prop up their flagging share prices. We can see a situation where, rather like a serpent that has kerosene oil poured on them, the targets of investigation are now squealing. We have to ask the question, is this because these people have lost out on the political patronage they enjoyed in the Rajapaksa years? Finally, I must point out that the same person who headed a Jayavira-connected company ended up as the head of the Securities Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka, where clearly there was, without a shadow of doubt, a conflict of interest position. It is very, very clear that Mr. Javira and his associates must be fully investigated to reveal to the public and hopefully to obtain some redress to the public who have lost out on billions and billions of rupees worth of monies by trying to invest on the Colombo Stock Exchange.
Allegations raised over the Kalpitia Beach Resort deal, which is owned by a company in which Dilip Javira is a director. SEC issues directive to the company over inaction for several years, having raised 283 million rupees from the public. SEC raises questions on remedial action that will be taken if the hotel is not built and shareholders are not treated fairly. Action filed at a district court claiming that a company of which Dilip Javira is a director had fraudulently obtained land in Pasikuda valued at 169 million rupees. For the attention of the FCID.
Why did two chairpersons and two director generals of the Colombo Stock Exchange regulator, the SEC, resign within a short time frame? How was the SEC chairman who was appointed thereafter involved in this activity? Well, we have more information on this. Expect a comprehensive report from Newsfirst in the near future.